right. Welcome back to What She Says Sports, everybody. This Shanola girl checking in. Hope y'all having I swear today is Saturday because it's spring break. So forgive me if I say it's the weekend. It does not feel like a Tuesday. Yeah, it don't feel like Tuesday. So I hope y'all have it just as good as a time as I am, because I clearly think today, I really thought today was Saturday all day, because Atlanta's just inundated with people. It's spring break, it's 404 weekend is coming up and approaching. So it's people everywhere. So it just, even over at the little spots that we go to, they pack, they crowded, they having happy hour, and it just seems like it's the weekend. So if y'all coming to Atlanta this weekend, be patient. Be patient. There will be people everywhere. All right. So let me get on in here. And we got a couple of things to talk about tonight. Colorado Pro Day. I have some footage. We're gonna go over that. And I was watching different people talk about, who the standouts are and stuff like that. So we'll share with that. And then we got the rumor mill for the Browns. Gaining a little steam. And if y'all were paying attention to the community today on YouTube, I posted about the Browns owner who sent a left-handed, backhanded, not even a compliment to Shedeur Sanders. I put it out there because I wanted to see what y'all, are saying. I'm gonna give y'all more time on that. I think about 6 people liked it. I'm gonna give it more time because I really want to see, the consensus of what y'all are thinking. So we got something to follow up on tomorrow. And I got notes. So let me get in my notes and make sure we cover everything. And then there's Shedeur himself, right? Shedeur, we'll start there. Shedeur was working out and he posted this and he said, thank God. And I was like, amen. Amen, right? Everybody's happy that he gets his 2 and, he gets to go on out there, go back into the season. Some people feel like it's a boost of confidence. I don't think he needed more confidence, to be honest. Personally, I don't trust Browns. I know I like Monkey more than I like anybody else over there. And I'm not really 100% on him either, but him more so than anybody else. I'll say that him, Monkey more so than anybody else. And I kind of think Monkey has learned that his job description is not what he thought it was going to be. And, he did miss the coach's group photo. He said he was getting a haircut for the group photo when he missed the group photo. I don't know. And he seems a little different. He seems a little low key. It's like he recently became aware of something that he wasn't aware of before. Now, I don't know what that is, but I will tell you this, right? You got Haslam saying that Deshaun has a chance to start. You have Monken saying that Shedeur is the only one that's been over there, that Dylan is MIA. He talked to Deshaun, but he hadn't seen him. And I just dropped a video. I just did a video about it, and go check it out. The link is in the comments. It says, just dropped a new video. That was me. Copy and paste the link. Go watch it and leave me some thoughts under the comments. I appreciate y'all for doing that. So yeah, we dropped a brand spanking new video today, and we live right now. So I want to get into the bus, but I kind of want to get into the rumor mill. And let's just do that first. Let's get into the rumor mill, right? Myles Garrett gets a boost to the rumor mill, right? I even noticed that Monken said he texts with Myles Garrett, or maybe talked to him on the phone, but he hadn't been there. So Myles Garrett, like last year, he could be in Tokyo or he could just be minding his business. The boost to the rumor mill for Myles Garrett comes from Albert Breer. And somebody else said what I said. Albert Breer is, to use their term, a heavy hitter. I was telling y'all, when Albert Breer generally says something, he got it from up top. Let's just be honest, right? He got it from up top, which is when Albert Breer said the Browns were taking the quarterback at number 2. Facts. That's what they were doing. It was going to be Shedeur, right? So Albert Breer is saying, and it's the way he worded it with Myles Garrett, that he suggests that the Browns consider trading Myles Garrett, because trading Myles Garrett away fits into their rebuild plans. That's the second time that the word rebuild has been used. People are not thinking that the Browns are rebuilding. Not only are they rebuilding, they practically gutted the team. They practically, yeah, you still got the same players, but you got all new coaches. And they're going to use that to not give two craps about this season. So Myles Garrett might be on the way out the door. Now, what does that say for Andrew Berry, who maintains Myles Garrett is a cornerstone of the team? And what does it say that they would even hold on to Myles Garrett when they know they getting ready to rebuild, so he's not going to win nothing? And what does it say that the Browns will pay Myles Garrett all that money and intentionally try not to win last year, try not to win this year, so they're going to hold them hostage till 2027 till they get their white horse? That's what they're going to do? What does it say about the Browns that they holding on to Myles Garrett, who could leave and go to a contender? They say the Patriots are interested. Now, we all know, no use in being coy. We all know the Browns want to get that first round pick next year. I talked about it a couple of days ago. Could Andrew Berry be cooking up a historic trade scenario with Myles Garrett and Shedeur Sanders, even though he just got his two? Go watch the video I just dropped. What does it say about Andrew Berry if they trade away Myles Garrett and Shedeur? Let's get on to the second rumor. So Albert Breer puts it out there that the Browns are rebuilding. It makes sense to trade Myles Garrett. So it came from Albert Breer before it comes from the team. Then Shedeur Sanders' name popped up in a trade scenario with Shedeur being traded before training camp. So that's Myles Garrett, Shedeur Sanders, two people rumored to be traded, two players whose jerseys were on sale. I asked you guys, go watch the video I just dropped. There was a question in there. And these are coming from two different sources, but it's the same context. And then Shiloh popped up in the rumor mill today. Not very strong, but names still kind of came up, just, with fans kind of talking a little bit. But the more serious side of things, don't forget Quishon's jersey was also on sale. And yes, Dylan's was too. And he know where to be found. So it kind of leans in to what we're saying a bit, right? That the Browns know exactly what the hell they're going to do. They already know what they're going to do. And it would be a jaw-dropping move for the Browns to trade Shedeur after giving him his two. It would actually fit with the bullshit the Browns have been hurling at Shedeur since he been there, right? So the rumor goes Shedeur could be traded before training camp, that Deshaun is going to start after the spring or in the spring, and they're going to switch off to whoever else is around later on in the season and rotate like they typically do. Now, if that happens, people already know, just like they knew last year, probably 2 weeks going into the draft, the tone started to change regarding Shedeur. He started tumbling. Now, Amber said in the comments under my video about Haslam that she thinks last year, the owners meeting that just wrapped up, or that's in process this week, she thinks that's where the collusion started. And she could actually be right, because it was in March. And out of that meeting, Haslam posted, oops, we still have Deshaun, without the oops. And then after that, things started to change in terms of the media with Jackson Dart, Shedeur tumbling, he's entitled, this, that, and the other. So here we are, 365 days later, and the owners meeting is the NFL team meetings. It's happening, right? And they're not committed to Shedeur. They said Dylan is MIA. Deshaun, verbal conversation, maybe on the phone, but not being around. There is still a jaw-dropping move to come from the quarterback room that did not happen. With free agency started, it could still happen, right? It was April 10th, after CU's pro day, 6 days after CU's pro day, when they signed Flacco. Right, leaving it up to Pro Day, they had signed Pickett. They didn't sign nobody leading up to it this year. Don't forget the one I told y'all at ESPN Cleveland said what a couple of weeks ago. The Browns are not counting on Shedeur Rizzo. I told y'all he's in the know. I don't really listen to Tony Grossi, but Rizzo locally, Adam Schefter nationally. So if the Browns aren't counting on Shedeur, and then he gets his jersey, and the rumors starting to creep out that he gonna be traded before training camp, what does that do for him to be traded before training camp? They get ready to start learning the playbook according to Munkin, April 7th. Go watch the video I just dropped. So I'm going to study that playbook. And before training camp, I might be elsewhere. So I'm going to have to learn another playbook real fast. And you can see how that could work against him, even though he's a quick study. But they could say he hasn't had enough time, whether he truly has or not. So the trade before training camp fits in with the bullshit that the 32 owners who passed on him did. They put him in the back, trading him after already learning the Browns playbook to another team. I got to quickly study in training camp with people that might know the Browns playbook already, another team playbook already. Puts me behind the curve, or they going to use it to say I'm behind the curve. There might just be a little merit to that. So we're going to sit back. We're going to see. Personally, Shedeur always has the right attitude, in my opinion. It's like, look, don't get attached to nothing. He did right by being the one up there, showing that he wants to be that quarterback, working out. He did right. That's what you're supposed to do, right? You get a new job, you want to make headway, you study. You show up. You don't wait till they tell you to show up. So he did the right thing. And if I know him, he's not attached, and I don't know him. But I doubt it. I doubt it shakes him if he's traded after spending 30 days with the Browns playbook with Munkin. I doubt it shakes him. In fact, I think he'll see the God in it. I don't know the young man, but I will predict that he going to post thank you, God, and feel a sense of relief. Now, why might they do that? Because that's exactly what they did to Geno Smith. Geno Smith was at one team, drafted to one team. Geno Smith was pushed down in the draft. He went to one team. Year 2, they sent him somewhere else. Year 3, they sent him somewhere else. They kept sending him to lousy teams. And eventually he got his shot where? At the Seahawks. And they still moved him. And then they said he was trash in Vegas. And then after the Epstein files came out, he's sitting at QB1 in the New York Jets. Let's see what happened. The only current, the active players, active or retired players in the Epstein files is who? Peyton Manning and Geno Smith. And everybody want to talk about the NBA and their connection to Epstein. Notice people don't want to talk about the NFL. There's something there. So we're going to see what it is. We're going to see if they're going to move him on to his second trash team. Do not forget, or just in case you did not know, many people did not know, of all the QB comps Shedeur Sanders could have had, do you know who the NFL said Shedeur's QB comp was? Geno Smith. And what was the team we thought Shedeur was going to at the 6? Vegas. And who was the quarterback they took from Seattle after he had the same record as Sam Darnold, which was 14-3, I think? Geno Smith. They moved Geno to Vegas to block Shedeur. Said that was Shedeur's QB comp. Called him trash all year. And he gone. When I say that's what they think they're going to do to Shedeur, that's what they think they're going to do to Shedeur. See, the difference is $20 million and counting. So while the rumor mill's picking up a little steam like a hurricane, because we're about to approach hurricane season, there's something called the eye of the storm. and it sits in the middle and everything else around it spins. I like to think the Browns don't know that they're about to be in the eye of the storm. See, there's a clean side to a storm that just brings rain and wind. And there's a dirty side that brings debris and damage. I don't know what the Browns are going to do, but we're going to see what God does. Again, on behalf of Shedeur. Somebody put it in the comments. They said, Nola girl, or what she said, sports, God is moving mountains for Shedeur. Facts. And they see God moving mountains for Shedeur, and they still, especially the owner of the Browns, trying to disparage him. Let's see what God does next on behalf of Shedeur Sanders, where the NFL is concerned. You know what they say? Make plans and watch God laugh. Get your popcorn ready. So Shedeur was out working out, doing his thing. And we're proud of him with the way he's handling this. Like I said, we wanted to marinate on getting that number 2. A lot of people say they're going to get the jersey. I don't even know if it's out yet. It might not even be out yet. Very interesting. And we'll see when y'all hear it comes out. Maybe if I don't know, hit me up in the DM or the chat or whatever in the community and let me know when y'all hear that it's out. Because I have a feeling it's not out yet. Because they still selling that other one. So let's see what happens. All right. So let's move on to don't forget, if you just not joining us, I dropped a new video on asking if Ty Monken favors Shedeur Sanders. Go check it out. The link is in the comment. The link is in the chat. We just went through the rumor mill. We just talked about Myles Garrett based on the Browns retooling, rebuilding, that he should move on. And that came from Albert Breer. And then the rumor is Shedeur could be traded before training camp. Now, remember last year, the rumor was Shedeur was going to be traded before the 53-man roster and get cut. So let's see what happens. All right, on to the Buffs. All right, so the Buffs had a pro, and, people pointed out it wasn't as star-studded as it was before. I mean, but I think that that's self-explanatory. I'm not even sure if anybody expected that, because why? Let's be honest, right? It's a whole new class of people two times over, and we knew that class was special. We didn't know that class would be the last class to be as special. That's what we didn't know at the time, but we knew that they were special, right? So let's get into Pro Day. Darius from Reach People Media was over there, and he's on the ground. And then I think I have some notes from Buff Stampede, who was on the ground, about who the standouts were at the same time. We have some of the guys running their 40-yard dash. I couldn't see the result, but you could see, who's running. And one player said he retired. I didn't know who it was. Maybe y'all could tell me if you see his face on the screen. And then I saw Caden. Caden was working out. Sincere was catching some of his passes. I thought he did pretty good. Y'all tell me. Let's get into the Colorado Buffs. All right, this is Pro Day. Let's go.
Oh, good. That's a directional.
So this is Caden, y'all. I'm going to come up just a little bit. Hold on one second. All right, this is Caden. I need to make myself a little smaller so y'all can see. All right, I'm a little smaller. Let me go back. I'm over here. So let me know what y'all thinking about Caden here. Step back.
Good.
Deep pass looks pretty good.
20? Yeah, between 25.
Mid range, I guess. I don't know who that is, but he looked pretty crispy. This is Thea Brown. He does kind of remind me of Travis just a little bit. He's just a little taller.
Good. Keep it. This is the end zone.
Good job. Good job of keeping the feet in. I don't know who this is. What y'all thinking about Caden? Let me know in the comments.
Would you rate? How would you rate this day so far?
I think they're serious.
Stop, boy.
All right. So they said Sincere Brown. Vertical was a 33. And I thought they said he had a pretty good 40, but I didn't get the time. If y'all heard Sincere's 40-yard dash time, let me know. What I did hear, the analysis that came out today, was that they think Sincere Brown has the opportunity to be drafted 6th or 7th round. What do y'all think about that? I don't know why he can't go 5th, but I mean, I think he'd be happy with that, right? But Taz Johnson, who played for Oregon, he didn't even get drafted to the 7th round. And he just got traded, I think, from Tampa. They talked about how good he was. I think he either got to another team, but he came from Oregon and they pushed him way down. And then don't forget, the Buffs, they got pushed down too. So I think maybe that's why people are saying 6th or 7th. I mean, he has a 33 vertical. He's tall, lanky, has speed. His routes look okay. Of course, they're going to develop that, so I'm not worried about that. I just think, once again, it's giving Will Shepherd, like, who wants to leave a big body receiver out there? But they suggested 6th or 7th round. What do y'all think about that? Let me know. All right, we're gonna get back to it. We're going to keep going. It's a little more here. And let me know what y'all thinking about Caden. If y'all think he's going to get drafted at all, or will he go undrafted free agent? Let me know your thoughts. Now, remember, this is a very light QB class. So this could be a good opportunity for him. Let me know if y'all think the fact that the class is weak. And it truly is. And let's just be honest. There's nobody over there. Maybe him. Let me know. Well, Taylor Green over there too, but I already know they're going to push him downhill. He might end up in Cleveland, somewhere to go. So let me know what y'all think about Caden, on his prediction on where do you think he might land. You can take into consideration they hate black quarterbacks too. So you might want to do that anyway. Hell, I'm willing to say Sincere Brown will go 6th and Caden could go 7th. Let me know. He's better than that. People commented on Caden how his throwing looks really good. And somebody said in the comments on the Darius page, stop judging him by Pat Schumer's offense. I totally agree. I hate what happened, but he looks good. He said he's been working out and he actually looks really good. So I just want to see what y'all are saying. All right.
Good work. Appreciate y'all.
Sincere is tall, isn't he?
What do you say?
Was recording? Yeah. RJ Johnson.
All right, for a reason. I'm good now. But if you still want to get rolled, then let me know.
Now this guy retired. Who was that? Do y'all know who that was? He retired. I don't know his name, so y'all let me know. He said he hung up his cleats. He's done. So if y'all know who that was, let me know.
Everything was right. I didn't do everything.
That's Preston Hunt.
Are you running? Should I jump to 35-5? Are you gonna do something else? Just throw. My reach was down there. Well, my shoe was probably the highest after.
For real? Your reach?
Well, my reach was extremely. My shoe was down there. And I had the highest vert with a 35.5. Highest broad with a 10.6. Just gotta finish the day, man.
You an
so
athlete,
wait a minute. So is he saying he did a 35.5 on the vertical and he did a 10.6 on the jump? Okay, those are good numbers. Okay, let's see what happened.
I say you just a light skinner.
Okay, never mind.
It is what it is, man. Gotta show that work I've been putting in.
Nah, for real.
Now, people wanted to know why Coach Prime was sitting on a medicine ball with a fishing pole. Apparently, he got a gift from a coach, a fishing rod, and he just sitting on the medicine ball maybe because it's comfortable. So I don't know why he had a fishing pole other than it was a gift. I think it was a gift. Here's the 40, y'all. There's several of them gonna run.
That sight line back here clear.
Now, is this the Denver Broncos or is this somebody else? Is that a D for Denver? Let me know. I don't know. I wanted to ask y'all because I don't know.
Where the sign is, a 40-yard dash. We don't want to get near that. So stay on this side. Because the main thing we need with these starts, fellas, is just we need a deliberate to stop, and we need 1,000 to pause at the top. You need to be completely still before you take off. At that point, just give us a good, clean pause at the top. That'll help your time. Right? And then get through. Barnes all the way to Retzlaff, and then we'll go right back to the top again. So you'll have a few minutes in between your run while we get through the line, but you'll stay in the same order.
That's Jeremiah Brown.
Just let me know before you run either this one. All good? Any questions?
Sersky.
Good, y'all, boy.
Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
You run that speed.
I didn't get any scores. I'm just watching. Is
Get five.
that Jeremiah Brown? I don't know. Oh, not sure who that was. Remember, there's other people from other schools working out too. You look pretty fast. I think that was Caden with his hair back. That's Preston Hodge, I think, huh? Was that Preston Hodge? How many times they have to run it? Twice? Maybe that was Preston Hodge. I don't know. They look pretty big for a lineman. I think that was a lineman. Who that was? That was Sincere.
I've never seen a
It must be done.
with, like the hoop swag. Oh, he got the Kobe's.
So you wear.
So that was it, guys. That was it. Did anybody hear anything about any numbers or anything? I just heard that Sincere Brown's vertical was 33. His 40, I'm pretty sure it was good because he's fast. They think that he could go 6th or 7th round. I thought Caden did pretty good. Other people said they thought Caden did good. I don't know. It's quite a few. It was I read the names of the guys that were in the combine, and we even had 3 working out from other schools. I even heard Retzloff last name. I don't know if there's any relation. But if anybody heard any times, let me know. I'm getting ready to head to the comments to see pro day results. Let's see. CU Buffs pro day results. Let's see if that came up. Just let me make sure I put in 2026. Let's see. March 31st, 19 players, guys. It was 19 players participating in front of scouts across the NFL. Sincere Brown stole the show with elite speed, clocked an unofficial 4.38 in a second 40-yard, 4.38 40-yard dash. That's good. Xavier Hill, offensive lineman, was 313-pound lineman, impressed with his athleticism, recording a 4.99 in the second 4.99 second 40-yard dash. Maybe that's the second one they ran. And a 30-inch vertical with 26 reps on the bench press. Caden Salter showcased high-end athleticism for the position with a 35.5-inch vertical jump and a 4.61 second 40-yard dash. That's good for a quarterback. Keaton Wade, he was there. Keaton Wade, I didn't know he was leaving. Okay. Keaton Wade posted a solid 4.6 for lineman. That's good. 40-yard dash and a 33.5-inch vertical. Okay, so there we go. And they have everybody's times there, guys. So Arden Walker was a 4.7 on the 40. Jeremiah Brown was a 4.8. Anaquin Barnes was 5.1 in the 40. Mana Tamani was 5.31. So all of the guys that were 4.6, I don't know. That's pretty good. Well, let me know what y'all think. All right, head it over to the comments. So we got some numbers. We got some numbers. And I didn't know Keaton Wade worked out today. I thought he was coming back. So I guess I'm surprised because, he's the edge rusher. And I don't know, did we get any good edge rushers in the recruiting? I didn't hear anybody say anything about that. Hey, Ramon, thank you for holding it down, fam. Thank y'all for coming back. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? Don't forget, this is actually the link to the video I just dropped. If you watch it, please let me know. And don't forget to hype me up. Thank you so much, everybody. Hey, Miss Pamela. Hey, Tina, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Kimberly, welcome back. Nice to see you, fam. Hey, Crowley, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I keep swearing it's Saturday. Hey, Blind Beauty, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It said, yes, I just finished responding to the backhanded comments. Okay, Crowley, thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to go into a little deeper on that maybe tomorrow so I can showcase some of y'all's comments. Hey, Tamika, how you doing, fam? Hey, Amber, how you doing? How you doing? It said, yeah, I got to check that one out. Yeah, it's a good video. I just dropped it, right? Like maybe an hour before I went live. It said Munkin gave Shedeur his 2. You think that was Munkin, Isaiah? It said Browns have been rebuilding since 2012. AB, get your resume ready. That's what I think. I'm like, because AB comes out not days ago and say that Myles Garrett is the cornerstone of the team. And here you got Albert Breer making a suggestion like AB don't understand that they're rebuilding and what to do with top talent that you're not going to fully utilize. I'm like, did they just one up? Did they just undermine Andrew Berry? We're going to see. We're going to see. We shall see. We shall see. It said correct. I wouldn't be surprised because that's how the Browns operate. Yeah. And that's how you have to think about it, right? That's how you have to think about it. It said, I like how Munkin treats the lousy Cleveland media that look on Tony Grossi's face. Yeah, people said they don't want to give Munkin not giving them nothing. So that's how you know it was Stefanski. That's where they was getting all that hatred from. It makes sense. So Haslam is on the anyone but Shedeur train too. Facts. Absolutely. Facts. And I was saying, I feel like Munkin, the look on his face and how different he is, seems like he finally had an opportunity to see, oh, y'all want me to come over here and be Stefanski. I ain't doing that. Now we understand that might be why they were having all of that talk about, will he be back next year? Is he going to make it to the new stadium? Because I don't think he with the BS. I think he thought he was going to come over here and have a competition and choose the best person. He can't even say that Shedeur is the best. He did say, Shedeur is showing up, and I don't see nobody else, but he can't just come out and say it, right? And I think he's starting to realize that even if Shedeur is the best, they don't want to go with him for QB1. They want to keep that toxic narrative that he QB1 for week 1. We're going to see. We're going to see because circumstances could change. It's that Shedeur and Garrett is not going anywhere. It's that's just Cleveland media trying to hurt Shedeur and Garrett. Barry already said that Garrett is not going anywhere. I don't buy that, none of it. I mean, honestly, Garrett should go somewhere. When you think about it, 22, is it really fair to keep Myles Garrett if you're doing a massive rebuild? You are no longer, you might be 2 pieces away, but you how many coaches away from? They want to undergo a rebuild. Haslam said it last September that they could rebuild for the next 3 years. You know why? Because this year's the wash, and they're going to give Arch Manning 2 years to get it together. And he going to be there whether he get it together or not. Because the fans been losing so this far. What's 2 more years? See, that's the issue. And I think Munkin has come to the realization he didn't just come to the Browns because he can get the Manning kid. They can do that. They already got Peyton Manning in their back pocket. He working with them. He in the shadows. That's what Tom Telesco is for, who hired Munkin. But now I got to take down Shedeur because y'all want the Manning kid. And even if he's not ready, you want the Manning kid and you want to push Shedeur aside. I don't think Monken is. I think he might actually have a conscience, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see who about to get played. That's what we're gonna see. It said the Cleveland Browns media and organization is full of it. It said I'm just gonna wait till after preseason and be on standby. I believe it will be Dylan Gabriel on the trading block. I think it will be Dylan. I think it will be Dylan. We're gonna see what happens April 7th. You don't even have to wait till preseason. Remember, any new team, any team that got a new coach can start working out April 6th. So you ain't gotta wait long. April 6th is a week from, not even a week. April 6th is next Monday, a week from yesterday. A week from yesterday. So go check out the video. I was sharing what date Todd Monken say he gonna start working out with the players. And he seems to be looking forward to it. He know what he want to do, but I think he realized what he got to do, regardless of what he wants to do. And I think that's what he's starting to realize. It said Haslam must be saying something to someone. You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think Amber was right. She said that she believed that the collusion came out of the owners' meeting, right? And I remember Mel Kiper Jr. saying before the combine that the NFL doesn't want players like Shedeur. So that takes me all the way back. But it was the owners' meeting where the decision to trade that pick away, number 2, was granted to the Jags, because I watched the video of the Jaguars GM say he didn't even know Andrew Berry, but at that meeting he wanted to get next to Andrew Berry to ask about trading for the number 2 pick. And the Browns seemingly indicated they were interested. And that's the meeting that Haslam came out and said, oh, you know what? We still have Deshaun. But here's the thing, right? What did they get for that pick? Did they get any 2027 picks? Did they get an extra 2025 pick? What did they get for that? I know they want 2027 picks. And I happen to believe Andrew Berry's cooking up some people to move on. And we're going to see who's in that. Remember, there was always an alternative use for the selection. Do not ever forget that. Now, that could be likes and clicks and don't go nowhere, keep him over there like Deshaun. Or it could be leaning into what Rizzo said. The Browns are not counting on Shedeur. And if that's the case, if he does get traded, whether it's before training camp, before the week 1, or in the middle of the season, you know how low down and dirty you have to be to give somebody their jersey after you played chicken with it last year, knowing you're going to get rid of them, but you're going to let them have their jersey. This, what's getting ready to happen between now and when camp ends and all of this, these dates, is getting ready to show you just how low down and dirty they are. Pay attention. Remember, I never saw that jaw-dropping move and the shake-up to the QB room. Never saw it. Never happened. And they ended up with $21 million in salary cap space they could use for free agency, and they have used it. Let's see. It said Pamela Haslam is talking to someone, not to us though. Yeah, he's talking to us. It said Shedeur and Garrett is the face of the team. I would not listen to anything from ESP Cleveland. They always lying and putting out propaganda. This Shedeur team. Wishful thinking, boo. We're going to see. I mean, here's the thing. You keep saying they lying, but if you look at what the owner said today about Shedeur, bruh, this is exactly why Stefanski was allowed to sabotage Shedeur. There's no way you can believe in the Browns after reading what Haslam put out today about Shedeur. Matter of fact, I'll do a whole separate video on it. Remember that little color-coded, post that I mocked up, and we took the time to read what they were saying about Shedeur? It is highly likely that Haslam himself led the way of the collusion against Shedeur. You know why? In the NFL, it's stated that when one team backs off, everybody else follows. Who's the team that backed off of Shedeur? And it wasn't the Giants. The Giants were meeting up with Shedeur right before the draft, forcing meetings with him. Tennessee was trying to force meetings with him, right? Like days before the week of the draft. So if draft week started on a Monday, that Thursday or Friday, Tennessee and the Giants were trying to get in there again, like they didn't meet with Shedeur 100 times, going all the way back to Trimble. Haslam moved away from Shedeur. Andrew Berry said it. He wasn't on our draft board. I just put out a video yesterday. Shout out to the 800 people that watched it. That talked about what was happening this time last year. And I talked about the speculation was Shedeur was going to Cleveland. And I said, Shedeur going to Cleveland, and he must really be going to Dallas. And with the trashy way that Haslam has treated not just Shedeur, but his black quarterbacks, period, going all the way back to Deshaun Kaiser. Oh, he wasn't my pick, but he kept holding him hostage, wouldn't give him his jersey number. The shit he said today. I think the one that people suspect had this young man robbed also led the collusion. And from the Brown side, it's premeditated. It was going to always be this way. And you know one thing that almost confirms it for me? After the Vegas Super Bowl, which was in 2024, right? February, they rushed Charles Woodson after texting him and asking him if he's still interested in being a partner. Told him to be in Vegas, rushed him over to meet the Haslams. And then in 25, they decided to make him a partner. Think about today, this week, the owners meeting. What month is this? The owners meeting is typically right about now, at the end of March. We didn't make the April yet. That's tomorrow. So that meant when the Vegas Super Bowl happened in February, they had the owners meeting in March. They could have approved Charles Woodson and announced it and brought him on board for the 2024 season. Or it might be 25, the 2025 season. It's whenever before Shedeur came out of school. Yeah, it was 24. They already knew that there was going to be 15 black starting quarterbacks by the time they got to August of 2024. And when they got to October of 2024, Shedeur was number one. And when they got to the owners meeting again in March of 2025, they remembered they had Deshaun. And then in April, after Pro Day, they signed who? Flacco. In March, they signed Pickett. After CU Pro Day, it's reported they quietly pivoted to Dillon somewhere along the process, but they kept it a secret because they wanted to keep Shedeur on the hook. That's Haslam. Haslam is the one. And when he pivoted off of Shedeur and moved off of Shedeur, some of the other owners, like the Giants, went along with it because they was in on it. Tennessee probably was in on it. Y'all gonna find out that this man led every tawdry, disgusting, abusive thing against Shedeur. All you got to do is look at his history with black quarterbacks, going back to Deshaun Kaiser. You can go back before Deshaun, but that's the one that stands out to me the most. That's also the one after his 0-16 run that Coach Prime said, I like what the Browns are doing, but no young quarterback should go there. What did Haslam say to Coach Prime? When Coach Prime was there, one of the visits where they interact with each other, that's caught on camera. And Coach Prime had all those bodyguards. Let's say Shedeur has a good game and we saw him flip a switch. I also saw him be very interested in Coach Prime's bodyguards, including wanting to introduce himself. And I will say it again. No billionaire gives a damn what the names of anybody else's bodyguards are. Haslam. And something tell me our faves know not only was it an inside job, but who it was behind it. Yep. Just think about it. So shout out to y'all that did answer the question. I'm going to do a separate video on that because I saw something popped out about something I covered previously. And since I'm posting content from this time last year, I'm looking for, I didn't realize I even have 1,600 videos. I'm looking through the videos that I have to see. I'm looking for one in particular that I did. So stay tuned for an up and coming video. So it said who could he go to still needs a QB1? What's that, Blind Beauty? What do you say he could? He could still need a QB1. Now I noticed that Andrew Berry said they will get somebody younger. That whoever they get can compete with Shedeur. Now there's a quarterback that's still under contract that was just drafted, and they need somewhere for him to go. His name is Anthony Richardson. He already got a contract. The Browns would just assume it. They wouldn't have to spend their salary cap money. They would just assume whatever he got. In other words, they don't need 50 or whatever they gave Kirk Cousins. It's not that. Matter of fact, if he got drafted in 22 or 23, he don't have but, 2 years left on that? 2, maybe 3. And I know their goal is to push him out. If you know anything about what was going on with Anthony Richardson, Browns are a container. They said somebody young who could compete with Shedeur, Dylan, and Deshaun, and he's black. So Dylan gets the go, and Anthony Richardson comes over. If not, Taylor Green. I mean, they could bring over Ty Simpson, but they typically do not like to put white quarterbacks in the position they put Dylan in. The position they're getting ready to put Tua in. They don't like to put white quarterbacks in that position. And it might explain why Kirk Cousins was so upset that he had been used to back up Michael Penix Jr. and to try to push him out the way, but it didn't work. So Stefanski got Tua. Let's see who the Browns get. Instead, I wouldn't be surprised if Haslam is undermining Barry and Munkin. Oh, absolutely. Now think about the way Haslam does his last year. How he and this probably could be why Munkin feel like he does. He's like, wait a minute, this some chaos. Remember, the way Haslam had the org separation of duties, he didn't have them working together. Haslam, Barry meet with him independently, and Albert Breer's conversation points to that again. And he had Munkin meet with, or he had Stefanski meet with him, Haslam, separately. Barry and Stefanski did work together. There's a photo I used as a thumbnail that shows Stefanski standing next to Haslam with Barry over here, turning around, looking at them, and it's like he don't know he a deer in the headlights. It's no, them two standing side by side, and he over here. As a matter of fact, I put a little jagged edge right through it. And I said, is he the next one to go? So you got Andrew Berry going on the record saying, we doing this, we doing that. Andrew Berry was also on the record saying he have no problem with Coach Prime, that they like Shedeur. Did that happen? Mm-mm. So whatever the hell he just said, and Albert Britt come behind him to undermine him, and it's about who? Myles Garrett. So I think the separation of duties still exists, and Monkey might be uncomfortable with that, especially if he's used to collaboration. He might feel like I'm gonna be kept in the dark. So like Stefanski, they gonna send me out here to say some things, and they gonna switch it up. So if I'm him, I would feel uneasy. I would feel uncomfortable because I don't know what the hell you telling Andrew Berry, because you don't have me in the meetings with him. And then would surprise me if he got a text or two from Stefanski saying, heads up, they're going to tell you to do it like this, and they're going to switch it up on you, and people going to hate you. Do not forget, the narrative is already out there. Not only will he make it to the new stadium, will he make it next year? Hasn't been doing these boys dirty. Everybody. That's why he splits up the separation duties. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell Monkey was told, because I'm not in the meetings with him. I don't know what Andrew Berry was told. So that he can play one against the other, which is what he did with Stefanski. Which is why Stefanski ran straight to the media and told the media he was pissed off about the personnel decisions, as if he was upset with Andrew Berry, because they're equal. So how could Andrew Berry make a decision without the change personnel if he and Andrew Berry are on the same page? It's Haslam. And he ran to the media that he and his family covets to tell. The next thing you know, he gets $15 million. What else was he going to tell to the media? We're going to see. Let's see how long he lasts. Because they got him back in the same situation of all cities, Atlanta, and he even has a Polynesian quarterback again. I'm like, oh, bro, are you looking at this? Was that your doing? And then they gave him a black GM again after he was mad about Andrew Berry. And all I've been hearing out of Atlanta is the GM is being praised. The GM said we're moving out Kirk Cousins out of respect for Michael Penix Jr. And then Stefanski said it's too early to be giving out jobs when they asked about Michael Penix Jr. being the starter. And this was after the owner said Michael Penix Jr. So Stefanski is going against the owner, what the owner said, and what the new GM said, and the new GM actions line up with what the new GM said. I don't know. They gave you a Polynesian quarterback just like you had, Dylan. Somebody led you to believe you was going to come over there and do this, that, and the other, and the owner came out before you showed up. You have to keep Ulbrich, that Penix is the starter. They know damn well the fan base going to ride for Penix. You got a new GM. Supposedly you supposed to help pick him. I don't think you did because he black. You didn't like the last one. You try to undermine Barry. You in the exact same situation, bro. They have moved you out of Cleveland, where people up there might ride for you, to one of the blackest cities in the United States, where Coach Prime built the Georgia Dome, all over Mercedes-Benz. This the house that Prime built. And this where they send you? And then they say they're going to give you $15 million. And they sent a fired head coach to be your offensive coordinator. I was like, bruh, you still in Cleveland. It's just Atlanta. You in the same exact situation, down to the GM being black, and y'all ain't on the same page, to the owner making personnel decisions, and y'all ain't on the same page, to the Polynesian QB that wasn't good wherever the hell he was before. Are you not seeing this? I'm just saying. Let me know your thoughts. because it's the same exact situation. The difference is the geography and the demographics. Everything else is the same. That's it. Tell me I'm wrong. It said Monken treats Cleveland media like outsiders. Good. I'm happy to hear that. It said you have to really have some tough skin dealing with the NFL. Facts. And the NFL approved the mental health and behavioral clinicians. Each NFL team will have a clinician assigned to the team. Remember, we saw the lady from last year, y'all, what's her name? I forgot her name. But remember, she was meeting with the rookies. Well, that must have been some pilot program, because I read today that the NFL approved to increase mental health and behavioral resources, and each team will have a assigned clinician therapist. Like, I mean, that's good, but I don't know if I would trust any therapist that any NFL team is paying money to. We talked about this. What they need is an emergency assistance program, and don't sound like they have one. They trying to put a hodgepodge together, but looking at the way that the NFL Players Association colluded with the owners, I wouldn't tell them nothing. What y'all think about that? We could talk about that tomorrow as well. It's that I don't think they want him to have QB1 anywhere. No, they don't want him to be QB1 anywhere. They've gone through too many leaks to keep calling him a backup, right? They're talking about, oh, they got too many backups. That means one of their backups going to be traded. That means if Shedeur is traded, they're looking at him as a backup. That means I'm going to give you a number 2. I don't know when we're going to sell the jersey, but you a backup. Fans have said, Haslam out here talking about Deshaun has a real chance, right? They're like, you do know Deshaun ain't played in 6 years, and he hasn't played a full season in 6 years. So, Flacco, I'm not saying he's as bad as that, but the point is, you don't even know what you're going to get. Or maybe you do, and you know it's not good. So why are you still rolling with this rather than going with your sure shot? See, they know Shedeur is a sure shot, and they don't want him. If Shedeur plays for the Browns this season, we could make a bet. I bet we could go over or under how many games he played. Less than 10. And what is that predicated on? Because they don't want him to be QB1. And you got to play a majority of the games. Whatever he does play, it's going to be under the majority of the games. That's my bet. Let me know your thoughts. We can bet a Reese's peanut butter cups or whatever. I don't care, because they're not letting him play the majority of them games. All he could do if he in Cleveland is just enjoy himself and keep his damn head on a swivel. But let's see what happens, because I'm still convinced that the Browns don't have to trade Shedeur, and they don't know yet. You see, you know why now? You see, Haslam still showing his high parts, still being rude. Like, all right, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn how expensive racism is. You're gonna learn. Karma already over there with the New York Giants. You next. All right, so it said the NFL wants to do a bury behind somebody. That's it, Miss Pamela. And if people don't see it, I don't know what to tell them. It said the NFL has been known to be involved in the child stuff. It said conspiracy theorists have been talking about it for decades. What you talking about, Echo? You talking about the E-Files or something else? It said where there's smoke, there's fire. Yep. It said Super Bowl is the largest day for horrible stuff. Oh, trafficking. I heard that the Super Bowl is the biggest day of the year for trafficking. And why is that? Well, why is that? I find that very interesting. It's also the day that domestic violence incidents increase as well. It said this is why all money isn't good money. Facts. Yep, God does move. Amen. It said 2 and 95 are not going anywhere. It said Monken wants 2 as his QB1. It don't matter what Monken wants, which is why Monken looked like he lost 10 pounds since he got there, which is why you don't see him smile no more, because he done found out the real deal. It said when the league allowed him to be in the Pro Bowl, that signaled it's time to make this right. Absolutely not. The league put Shedeur in the Pro Bowl to deflect from what was coming down the pipeline. At the same time, drop in the comments what was happening while Shedeur everybody was talking about the Pro Bowl with Shedeur. What was happening? Drop it in the comments. I know several of y'all gonna get it. I don't know why people don't know that. You got to go back to the week of the Pro Bowl and pull up the news for whatever day or whatever beginning and end part of the week. And you're going to know why they put Shedeur in the Pro Bowl. Who did they have these quarterbacks, these players standing in front of What sponsor was it? That should have never been the case. I did a video about that. That should have never been the case, but everybody want to talk about the NBA. All right. Okay. And that ain't who they should be talking about. Oh, that's not only who they should be talking about. Because as far as I know, it wasn't none of them in there. Definitely, I think maybe one. We talking 9 plus Geno Smith plus Peyton Manning plus Casey Wasserman. Bruh, get the hell out of here. Shedeur is still a rookie till November. Okay, thank you, Selmo. I appreciate that heads up. Shout out to the Buffs. Absolutely. Sincere ran a 4.3. Thank you for that, Jay. It said Caden is NFL ready. Check out his release. He looks good to me. It said totally agree with Brown's going to be in the eye of a storm. Yeah, I think so too. It said so upset at how the former OC and DC ruined these young men opportunities to be drafted higher. And I just want you to know it was intentional. It was intentional. It's intentional to hurt the program. Look at the part CU played. Look at the part the Big 12 played. Look at the karma that's coming their way, right? It should tell you that ever since, what it should fill in for Coach Prime is filling the gaps. And he probably not a gap for him, but for a lot of people it is. All the way back to year 1. You should now see why it was game 4 where CU started to slide. You should now know why it was game 4, not game 3, not game 2, not game 1. You should now know why the refs allowed that late hit on Travis. You should now know why Shedeur was sacked 52 times in year 1 and 39 in year 2. You should now know why Pat Schumer was the OC. You should now know why Livingston was the DC. You should now know why Livingston contract got finalized before Coach Prime. You should now know that Colorado never expected Coach Prime to see all of that money or be around as long as his contract term is. You should now know why they keep trashing the Buff program in the NFL draft. You should now know Shedeur's robbery was an inside job. You should have an inkling as to who orchestrated all of it. You should also have more than an inkling that Shedeur's draft fall was premeditated. And you should maybe have an idea or two as to who concocted the scheme and possibly how long it's been planned. You should know what time it is. Where Shedeur is in the NFL, their plans. But you should also know, based on what you have been watching unfold, is God don't play about Shedeur. So it's best to see what God gonna do. You can talk about what their plans are. That's called awareness. And while you're spreading awareness, you're also waiting on God to see what he's gonna do where Shedeur is concerned next. Allow the door to close to the Browns so he can get the hell on, because Haslam clearly is a demon. You should know that by now. 1,600 videos, you should know that by now. 22 says the 5th round probably is 6th or 7th round because he really didn't get a chance to show how much, and that was intentional, how much he does the last year. The last year QB situation. Caden Salter probably going free agent. Yeah, I think so too. I was wondering if he was finna go fishing too. You to my Coach Prime? Ramon said that was the Denver Broncos. And yeah, somebody getting drafted by the Broncos. We gonna see. I don't know. Livingston up there. Who you think? Somebody on the defense from last year? Jeremiah Brown? Jeremiah Brown could go to the Broncos. Let's see what happens. Because he was on defense. I thought he did pretty good. Preston Hodge, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. Fishing pole was for Jeremiah Brown. He had to have good numbers to get it. It said Prime say you know you have to work for what you get from him. Oh, he got the new ride. So that meant Jeremiah Brown did pretty good. That's actually good. They said it was a gift for Coach Prime, but it was a gift for Jeremiah Brown. Okay, I'll take that. I like that. I like that. I'm wishing Jeremiah Brown, well, I hope he get in there. It said Coach Prime was holding the fishing pole for Jeremiah to give it to him if he had a good day. Oh, that's nice. It said Salt to put a little weight on. He looks good. I think so too. It said they can say what they want. Coach Prime trains future NFL players. Right. And let's see. It's 19 this time. 19. What was it last year? 15? It was 15. Well, it could have been more. It could have been 19, but it's 19 this time. Let's see how many make it in. Let's see. And let's see how many go to the UFL. Let's see how many go to Canada. Let's see what happens. And let's see how many go play flag football. Don't forget, each NFL team supposedly has a men and women's flag football team coming online. So let's see what's up with that. The Jaguars already have one. It said that was K Wade. Keaton Wade. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It said, oh, thank y'all for the info about the fishing pole. Yeah, totally agree. Kaden has a track background. Oh, okay. Okay. He did really well. I wish him well. It said the Colorado Buffs have some runners on this year's team. I heard. Where's Mata? I don't know. That's a good question. Do y'all know if Mata is what's going on with Mata? Let me know your thoughts. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to put a star by that and follow up on that. Let me know if anybody know about Mata. We're getting ready to wrap up too. Let me know about Mata. I'm going to save this so I can look into see what I can find out if we don't have any info tonight. It said, I don't see why K-Salt can't get a chance. There's plenty of bum QBs in the NFL. That's why, because he's black. And I'm not going to bite my tongue about it. That's why. It's because he's black. That's it. It said, Juanita, I think he was in another field for pro day. Okay, so they think maybe, because of the kicking. Yeah, he probably got to show some kicking. That's a good idea. Let me know, Tina, if you learned anything about that. Let me know if you heard anything. It said the punchers and place kickers have a different combine workout. There you go. Vermont filled it in. Okay, that's good. That's good. His pro day was outside. Okay. Hey, Blade, how you doing? What's good? What's good? What's good? I hope Salter gets drafted, but remember who's in charge. Facts. And you cannot forget about that. You cannot forget about that. And Caden had a good combine. He looked really good. The running, the vertical was good. The 40 was good. His release, his throwing, he looked really good. He looked like a damn quarterback. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he ain't in Cleveland. Is Garrett contract up? No, they just gave him an extension last year. Now, mind you, they knew when they gave him that extension what the plan was for this year and next year. Ward's contract was also restructured. It was. They only got $2 million for him, though, so I don't even know why they restructured that. They were sitting on 21, so 19, you could have had 19 and left him alone, but I don't know. That's just weird. It's that I just don't see the Manning kid family letting him go to Cleveland. Hell, that's who behind him going to Cleveland. I don't know why people don't realize that's who's behind him going to Cleveland. Remember, Haslam, University of Tennessee, Peyton Manning, University of Tennessee. I told you stop over there. I said, let's see what they do with that next year. Do not forget, they brought in Tom Telesco to help Andrew Berry hire someone for the head coach. That's Monken. Who did Monken recruit in high school? Not Shedeur, the Manning kid. The dominoes are stacked. Let's see who they get. Let's see if they get anybody from UT this year. Let's see. They got Isaiah Bond last year thinking what? The Manning kid was coming out this year. According to AI, no, his contract runs through 2030. Yeah. And don't forget, they already said the Patriots and Dallas were interested in Myles Garrett or something like that. That's just talk. But let's see if that rumor gains any more traction, because it did today with Albert Breer. And he's right. They're rebuilding. So what are you holding on to Myles Garrett for? You're no longer one or two pieces away. You're multiple coaches away. We don't even know how this year going to go. What did Vegas say? 6 games. You know why? Because it don't matter who the quarterback is if you got a whole new coaching staff. You're rebuilding. And people just don't want to accept that that's what it is. And I know why. Because last year, you were right there. You were right there. You just didn't want to be there. And they don't want to be there this year. And they not going to tank. They going to trade to get the pick that they want, to get the person they want next year. They not tanking. They just going to hide under rebuilding. That's what it is. 2 has a Nike deal. Yep. Have number 2 and we'll travel. Yep. It said, what did Haslam say today? Check it out in in the community. I guess you can see it, right? Yeah, in the community. Check out the written post under what she said. Yeah, go to the community. It's over there. I'm giving people time to respond to it. It said, I wonder if giving him number 2 is the way to drive up jersey sales. It's not jersey sales, it's ticket sales. All right, so let me break this down right fast. I'm gonna get out of here. Ticket sales belong to the team. Jersey sales get split against 32 teams. So they don't really care about that. It's a nice to have, but I need people to come to the game this year. I'm trying to build a stadium. I'm missing $600 million because I can't get that money that I thought I was gonna use. So I'm in the hole $600 million. And I need to sell tickets this year, which is $110 million on the gate. What better way to do that than with Shedeur? So I'm gonna give him his 2. That's gonna generate buzz. People gonna want to buy tickets. If it was about the jerseys, they would be ready to go today. I don't think they out yet. Why people think he getting traded before training camp, I have no idea. But I know the Browns are rebuilding, and I know that they don't want to tank to get who they want next year at number 1. So I'm going to need to trade some people. Stay tuned. See who it is. Thank you, Ramon. I've been trying to tell these people what it is. Yeah, some people just, it ain't even optimistic. That's not even optimistic. When you know better, you got to do better. You got to even think different. It's that cut Dylan and sign Shiloh. I like it. I like it. I'm not going back to Indiana. Anthony Richardson. There you go. Anthony Richardson. There you go. He got to go somewhere. Let me see how much time he got left on this contract. And then I promise we get out here. Let's see. Anthony Richardson contract. Let's see. Let me see how much time he got left. Remember when I first started going live, they used to have somebody in our comments. He was Anthony Richardson's trainer. He used to be coach somebody. He used to tell us all about Anthony Richardson. I hadn't seen him. Since, so I don't know. So Anthony Richardson signed a 4-year, $33 million, fully guaranteed rookie contract with the Indianapolis Colts in 23. It said, so that's 3 years coming. It said featuring a $21 million signing bonus. How much did I say the salary cap was? $21 million? I'm going to share this with y'all. Oh, okay. Now, they said he was young. They said he could compete. They want to get rid of him. He's black. This will muck things right on up really good and force 3 black quarterbacks to compete against each other with nobody being the starter. Let me share this with y'all. Y'all need to see this. How much did I say they had? $21 million. And Anthony Richardson's guaranteed is $21 million, which meant if his guarantee still got to be paid, they might have already paid that. I don't know. Sometimes they prorate the signing bonus, and that's what Travis Hunter did not allow. And then he was out for the season, and the insurance company likely picked up his salary. They got their money back. Because I don't know how much Travis' salary would have been, $12 million, so they probably got that back for year 1. Yep, that's why I'm saying you cannot. These people always got something going on. Always. And they have had conversations. I would love to see some discovery. Brian Flores lawsuit. Lord have mercy. How long is it going to be before? I think they got something coming up in March or April. April, maybe some kind of pretrial something. Oh, because they were allowed to ask for discovery already, or they're getting ready to. So let's see what happens with that. Now, remember, they gave him $600 million as the highest paid defensive coordinator. I think that was to make him maybe consider dropping out the lawsuit, but it didn't work, I don't think. All right, so can y'all see my screen? Let me know. Yeah, okay, there it is right there on the screen. I'm gonna read it to you. Let me move this comment. Shout out to you, Remind. Anthony Richardson signed a 4-year, $33.99 million fully guaranteed rookie contract with the Indianapolis Colts in 2023. Mind you, he just got drafted in the first round, probably number 1 overall or close to it, with that kind of money. And they already trying to boot him out. They already replaced him in 2025. So 2 years into his contract, they done pushed him out the way. They done gave Daniel Jones $88 million contract. Mind you, he had already made over $100 million. Do y'all know Geno Smith never made $100 million yet? I think the contract he got in Vegas puts him close to it. Yeah. See who getting the money? So it said featuring a $21.72 million signing bonus. He was the 4th overall pick. Contract includes a 2027 fifth-year option that he'll never see. He is set to earn $5.38 million base salary and a roster bonus in 2026. They got $5 million. He cheat. That's what that means. Though he has received permission to seek a trade. So they gave him permission to ask for a trade, and they already know where he's going. Andrew Berry said the person they're going to get is younger. $5 million, that's all that he costs. And it causes more chaos to have him over there. And it's worth all $5 million to them to put 3 black quarterbacks together as triplets. And if it ain't the Browns, it's going to be another team. And he's going to be a twin or a triplet. He's not going to go to any. If he goes to any of those teams that do not have black quarterbacks, and there are a few, they seem like they saving it. They keep those rosters filled to the brim, to the 4th spot, even in the regular season, so that if somebody get injured or got to move around, they don't have no room. Let's see if he end up in Minnesota with Kyler Murray, or if he become a triplet in Cleveland, or if he end up in Washington or Houston. He going somewhere. And they got $21 million. And they surely got 5 for a quarterback. And y'all know the Browns function as a hold and derail, hold and devalue, hold and push right on out. He could end his career right there in Cleveland. And when he become available, nobody's going to be interested. And it only costs $5 million a year. Man, there you go. Notice ain't nobody talking about Anthony Richardson. Keep your eyes out for that one. That's interesting right there. Well, there it is, Anthony Richardson. Let's see if they start talking about him. I mean, he going somewhere, right? See what happens. So there it is, Anthony Richardson. All right, I'm going to get myself out of here, y'all. We'll be back on tomorrow. We can finish the conversation in the chat because I see a lot of comments left over. And we'll be back tomorrow, guys. This was very good. This was very good. We walking away with Anthony Richardson. I can't put him in a rumor mill because nobody talking about it. That's the What She Said Sports tea. That's for us. That's for the family. That's for the community. That's something we looking at, right? Because they not talking about it. And clearly you think they will be talking about, having a very young quarterback, on the roster. Clearly, Indianapolis ran to give Daniel Jones $88 million after he had 6 years and $125 million to fail. And Anthony Richardson got to get the hell on. Justin Fields ended up backing up Pat Mahomes. So let's see where Anthony Richardson, who's on the move apparently, is going to go, because I don't see him staying in Indianapolis, because pride, because that would hurt me to stay there knowing that they pushing me out. They got him injured. Yep, they sure did. Got his pinky injured. Sound for me? Yep. Nothing new under the sun. All right, y'all. That's the tea for us. And the rumor mill is still the rumor mill. So we'll check back in on that tomorrow, and we'll go over what Haslam said. I have some information to put with the comment that he made today. Fans clearly could see through it. It was on Daniel Oyefuse's page first on X. Fans quickly began to see through it. So we're going to dissect it tomorrow. All right. I'll see y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. I'm going to get myself out of here, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. This was excellent conversation. Thank you. Thanks again.